Yo, what's up guys? Murx here. On my stream lately, I've been getting a decent amount of questions around the topic of best way to improve aim. And I think the thing that's been the most valuable to me and has helped me the most is just strictly doing aim trainers for a consistent amount of time each day. So I'm just gonna go through my aim training routine I do in the morning before I hop onto Valorant and just show you guys what has helped me so far. Let's hop into it. Alright, so the aim trainer I use is called Kovacs. It's currently $10 on the Steam market, I believe. I just use it because it's the first one I started with and I've stuck with it. But Aim Labs is a free aim trainer on Steam, and you can find similar results with that if you're not looking to spend any money on this. So the first thing I start off with in my routine is this one wall, 6 targets, small scenario. And you just click play. There's both a challenge and a free play. The challenge is timed like 60 seconds how many you can get. But I usually just start off with free play for a bit. The scenario is pretty straightforward. There's just these 6 red dots on the wall. You're just trying to click them like you click heads in Valorant, essentially. The two main things I like to focus on when I'm doing this training is not over flicking like I did just there, and getting my crosshair to the next point the quickest path possible, just like a straight line to the next dot, no wavering in the crosshair placement. I think when first trying this scenario, I think it's best to go slow and try to be as accurate as possible. Try to not miss any dots, because that's going to really dial in the muscle memory for how far you need to move your hand / mouse to a head on your screen in Valorant. And if you just work on those two things alone, and only have time for doing this maybe 10 minutes in the morning every day, I think you'll see the difference and notice it in game. All of a sudden you'll just flick to someone's head and be like, did I just do that? Like, how did my mouse know where to go right there? It was nuts. I generally don't have like a time limit I set for myself when I'm doing these maps. I just go off the kill count, and once I feel like I've slaughtered enough innocent red dots for the day, I call it there. Usually I try to do around like 1,000 to 2,000 on this map. And after that, I'll do the challenge 3 to 5 times. The challenge is really solid because it gives you a high score based on how many kills you get within 60 seconds and how accurate you are within those 60 seconds. So it kind of forces you to move a little bit faster, flick a little bit faster to the targets, and try to improve on your high score each time you do it, which is needed in a game like Valorant, in a low time to kill game like Valorant, where you gotta make quick decisions and be fast with all your movements. And the next one I hop into is Ascended Tracking V3, and essentially just trains your tracking, like following a agent model in Valorant while you're shooting at them, which I realized early on in Valorant I was very poor at. I know people that come from like Overwatch and maybe Fortnite have good tracking skills, but mine were garbage. Especially in Valorant, where there's like jet, rays just flying through the air sometimes. I think tracking is pretty important. Honestly, this probably helps even with like tracking a Sova dart through the air, When you're on a bomb site and you see a Sova dart coming over, you just follow it all the way and then nail it right when it hits the wall so it doesn't ping at all. So the main focus here is obviously just staying on target and staying loose and ready for it to change in any given direction instead of trying to predict the direction, which happens a lot in Valorant, where someone will be like A and D'ing, just strafing back and forth, and you try to predict their next movement, and oftentimes it's wrong. So this kind of helps with just reacting to their next movement instead of trying to put your crosshair where you think they're going to go. It's hard though. I'm really bad at tracking still. Still got a lot of work to do on this. Maybe I should play Overwatch. Once I'm feeling good and warmed up on the tracking, I'll do this challenge 3 to 4 times as well before moving on to the next scenario, which is the last one I do is this pat target switch. And I think this one's solid because it's like an entire 180 degrees, and there's verticality, which in Valorant there's tons of verticality just within the maps themselves, and then got agents like Jet and Rays that are flying all over the place. I also feel this is the closest scenario to actual Valorant, with these little strafe bots that have heads on them, and you just practice clicking on their heads. Sometimes I'll tap on the heads because I like using the Vandal the most, and I'm trying to tap more with it. So I'll like do 3 clicks on these heads to just practice the tapping feeling. Yeah, and then I'll do the challenge on this map as well once I'm feeling comfortable. And after the challenge on here, I hop into Valorant, the shooting range, and warm up a bit in there. Then maybe do a DM, then hop in a game. That's about it. But with these aim trainers, consistency is the real key. So if you're able to carve out any amount of time throughout your day to do this every day, even if it's just 10 to 20 minutes, you'll see improvements within your aim. Like, there's no doubt. Within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll definitely start noticing that you just kind of react to things better. You're not thinking about your aim as much, but you're still nailing people in the head just through muscle memory. I figured I should upload some Valorant footage of times where in the game it felt like I just loaded up Kovacs and shot some red dots on my screen. So that's what you're checking out right now. But I wanted to give a little bit of background information on my FPS history. My main game before this was League of Legends, and when they announced Valorant, I've always wanted to play FPS and I really enjoyed watching CSGO. So I decided I'd switch over to Counter-Strike, and I put a few hundred hours into that game before Valorant actually released. But Valorant's like the first FPS that I've taken seriously and really grinded and tried to improve. So by no means is this a tutorial to get you to Radiant, but I was able to go from Gold, Silver, up to Diamond 3 by practicing this aim routine consistently for a few months. And now I kind of feel like I've plateaued into Diamond 3, so now it's time to switch it up and figure out what I need to improve on to get to Immortal consistently. So I'm going to switch up my aim routine starting now and try and figure out how to improve enough to get to Immortal / Radiant eventually. So I'll make a new video in a few months probably on how the new training has worked out and if it's been effective. I think that's about it. So if you're still watching the video up to this point, I appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully some people got some value out of this video. If you did, any subs, likes, or comments are much appreciated. Maybe you guys could tell me what kind of Kovac routines have helped you down in the comments section, or any aim lab routines as well. I have both, and I use aim labs every once in a while. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope everyone has a good rest of their day or night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep aiming.